I'm going to ask you guys, all four of you guys, for your reactions. What did you feel when you heard Arnold say, "Screw your freedom"?
I already didn't like the guy. Have you guys not seen what he's been doing in California? I'm not even that political, but he's been, I'm sorry, maybe somebody else wants to go first on that one, but.
So my issue with Arnold saying that is nothing about him saying that, right? But what I have an issue with is the hypocritical piece of him coming over to America for his freedoms that has built him the fame, allowing him to get into political office, allowing him to be the best bodybuilder in the world for years, and building a career based off of the freedoms that he came to this country for, and then saying, fuck your freedoms about a mask. Like the most ignorant thing to talk about is a mask that we have proven in science that doesn't protect us from anything.
Why does he have the right to say that too?
We have the right. We have freedom of speech, so he has the right to say whatever he wants. If you say it on Facebook
in the United States,
but to mean it and really be pissed at other people about it, and the people who are ostracizing their friends over it, like that's your right, but that's your freedom. Hello.
Yep.
Well, did you guys? I don't know if you followed some of the companies that have Backlash, but Redcon One dropped their sponsorship Arnold Classic. Aaron Singerman, whatever his company is, I don't remember the name of it.
That's Redcon One.
Okay, that there was another company that's also
the tall guy. What's it? Another Aaron made a post about it. Like one of the tallest bodybuilders. He's in Tampa, I think.
Aaron. I know who you're talking about, but I can't remember his name. Yeah, he's 6'7", like that dude. Yeah. And then Colin Van Moore.
Yeah.
It's causing, especially in this community, which is hyper aware of relative to the general population, hyper aware of health. And we see that there's plenty of scientific data that shows that masks don't do dipshit for you. And we see that you can actually manipulate your immune system by using the shit you fucking put in your mouth. And we understand this, and then the general community understands it to a greater degree than the population does. And when you see somebody who is associated with that community come out with and say something that is so incredibly hypocritical, like you were talking about, Dave, it's just like, oh my gosh, I will never support this person again. And cool, I don't give a shit if they say it at all whatsoever. That's their freedom, right? But I am not. The reason these people have any platform at all is because people choose to give them their time and their money. More people like us and all of our friends and any platforms that we have to encourage people to support things in a purposeful and intentional way with our time and our money. And then we change shit a lot faster.
Get woke, go broke. I saw a video today. There's a diner in Texas, and they put a sign up that said $50 surcharge for anyone that wants to argue about wearing the mask. And sure enough, they closed down because you pissed off at least 50% of your customer base. And as business, you cannot survive by losing 50% of your customers. So
it doesn't matter because we're losing 50% of small businesses anyways. Actually, we've lost more than that. So it doesn't even really.
So Sam, you're talking about the populace, our populace being hyper aware. And I thought you were about to go in this direction. We're also more hyper aware of how much small businesses have been affected because the gyms were like the last to open up. Still in New Jersey, I don't even know if they can open, for God's sakes. But that being said, and then Arnold doing that when the gym built his every empire.
He abandoned us. He abandoned us 5 years ago when he got with that. Okay, listen, didn't we all go through this shit 5 years ago? Didn't we already all let him go when he started pitching vegan protein down our throats with every goddamn ad? Arnold, shut up. Please stop talking. Just stay who you were. You're so close to dying. Just please let it just keep the memory alive, bro. Because you can't
gets jacked on real protein and steroids, and then as soon as he's rich, he's doing vegan protein. It just sucks because I grew up with Arnold as the Terminator. I mean, he was like my bodybuilding idol, and it just sucks to see him
anymore. by him.
I mean, I knew he was liberal, because he freaking ran California. But just to hear him say "screw your freedoms," I was just like, "Come on, for real!" Like, it's sad.
The Pumping Iron documentary. His dad dies, and he doesn't go to the funeral. I mean, that's how Arnold is. He's always been self-motivated, and whatever keeps him relevant is what Arnold's psychology cares about. That's why he became who he is, and that's why he's maintained it this entire time instead of just having a normal life like every other, Olympia. He cares about being relevant, and he's not doing it with his biceps anymore. And so he has to maintain that sort of limelight, and he's doing it with every single trend that comes out. And he panders, and it's very obvious. And I kind of just let him go. Honestly, as an idol, when you meet your idols, you really start to get to know them. A lot of the time, it hurts. You don't realize who they are as a full person. You just really love one part. And I think we just need to stop thinking about that because he had so much to help us. Well, we don't need to stop. We should talk about it. But when you think about him as a whole, it just kind of hurts. So to use him as bodybuilding motivation is sick, but everything else has been kind of sad.
I think what the deeper thing of what you're saying, Zach, at least from my perspective, is that we need to have a deeper conversation around the idolization of anybody and the mental fucked up shit that goes on because
I want to talk about that freaking death cycle that went around with the female figure or the male figure code.
Shelby Starnes.
I made a small live video where I kind of ranted about it. Shelby Starnes, yeah.